what brings you down then?
I'm studying London College of Fashion.
So you've got a mild nightmare today trying to talk about this movie because there's only so much you can say. That's fair enough. So let's go for the characters then. Could you talk us through who you are and who you play in the movie?
I play Sandy.
And I play Jack.
No.
And we
That's
that.
No.
We play two characters that are quite similar in terms of their ambition and hunger and their want to have fun. And I think if things had gone differently, maybe they would have had a happier future together.
Yeah, and,
but that is not technically what we are presenting you with.
Yeah.
I tried. I don't know.
It's good. It's sort of, it describes what it is. And, they belong in the 60s. They're very stylish. And they're sort of go-getters, aren't
Yeah. Like to dance.
they? Love to dance.
Love to dance.
I could genuinely hear your minds treading on metaphorical eggshells. That was...
Yeah. It's
We
'cause
like
Edgar's got
Edgar. We
snipers
like
on the
Edgar a
roof.
lot,
Yeah.
but he's on it. Nothing.
If I could live any place and any time, I'd live here in London in the 60s.
Let's talk about the dance then, because there is a dance.
Yes.
Involving, I seem to remember, a cigarette and a couple of drinks as well, just to make it even more difficult.
Yes. And you are?
Sandy.
Talk me through the most difficult moments shooting that and the ones you were proudest, the little dance moves you were proudest of pulling off.
Well, I rather love the sort of dum dum dum.
Yeah.
Like all this business. We sort of there's like a kind of zombie 60s thing, which is pretty cool.
I love all the transitions. I can't watch that sequence because there's only 2 moments in it that aren't practical.
Yes.
The rest of it is all practical and done in camera.
Yeah.
And so I can't watch that sequence without hearing the beats in my head.
Really?
And, going like,
And we-
and 1, and 2, and duck,
three,
and
and
run
four, and
around
five,
the
and six,
camera,
and
and here. Yeah, I hear that all the time.
Because it was literally us just hiding, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And you have to do this, Anya, dressed as a very lovely pastry, whereas Matt's in a suit.
I'll take a pastry. You know what was really fun, though, because it's not just Matt, Tomo, and I. It's also the camera operator, but then Chung, our DP, decided to jump in at one point without really telling us. And so all of a sudden you have, all of us just trying to not get whacked by the Steadicam.
Yeah.
It's a tough life. You get hit around the head by a camera. That's the rest of your day gone.
Yeah, that's it.
We're very proud of it, though. It's it feels pretty cool.
Yeah, it feels like a little magic moment in the movie.
It's jaw-dropping. And you've got this less, Matt, but you've got mirror acting, which I can only imagine is a nightmare.
Would be if it wasn't for Thomas and Mackenzie. The two of us together really we became very aware of how the other person moved, very aware of different cues, and we did pretty well at it, actually. We just kind of got in sync very quickly.
It's amazing. That's actually one of my favourite bits of the whole film, is that first, without giving too much away, that first mirror moment. It's
well, again, practical.
Yeah.
So many of the things in this film are practical. I can't wait so we can actually talk about how we did it, because I find that the most fascinating.
Yeah.
It feels to me like, going to acting college or getting that sort of training, you learn a little bit of the whole I'm in a box stuff. And then you get in an Edgar Wright movie and you go,
I can tell.
will the downtown lyrics never ever leave your head?
No.
No.
Although it's quite a nice song to have on repeat,
Yeah,
isn't
it's
it?
not. It's like there are worse people than Edgar Wright to pick the soundtrack that you can't get out of your head. You can forget all your troubles, forget all your cares, so go down.
I'd love it if he'd done a non sequitur and suddenly it was like, Crazy Frog or whatever, and you're like, please, can I sing anything? Please, I'm begging you. I have to do this for 3 days. Oh my God.
Things will be great when you're downtown. No finer place for sure.
When you write a movie like this, obviously the music is incredibly important. Without, pampering and, telling you you're great. Have you reached a point where you can write knowing that you're probably going to get the songs that you might need for the scene?
I mean, in a weird way, the playlist for the movie existed before there was the script, because I would almost, in the same way that people would maybe use like Post-it notes on a wall or like an idea for a film, I sort of have almost like mapped out in songs as reminders. So I realized I'd made this playlist called Soho 5 Stars, which was like my favorite songs of the 60s. And I had made this like as over a decade ago. And so it was, and in a way it was that thing of like, it was like a reminder that anytime I'd hear one of those songs, I think I have to write Last Night in Soho.
It's also so nice as a writer when you get given a playlist that's going to be in the film, because it gets you like the tone, the pacing, everything about it. And actually working with Edgar is great because it's like a musical education. Like before Edgar, I didn't know about half of these songs. I didn't know about Sparks. And like right with him, I've got all these great banging tunes now.
Everyone's waiting for you.
What is it like singing to Edgar Wright, like on set like that? Surely that's super nerve-wracking.
Yeah, it's terrifying. And even Matt was so supportive, and he's there and he's like, "You got it." I'm just like, "Oh God, kill me." But it was really fun, and I really relished the opportunity to do it. And
It was a lot. It was a long day for you, wasn't it? You sang it a lot.
yeah, but you know, it's definitely a new experience in terms of how naked you are in that moment, kind of sitting there yesterday with the whole audience.
Were you nervous at that bit?
Yes, I just put my head down and was like, it's okay, it's okay, it's
Really?
okay.
God, but it's so
well, it's
good.
like doing a school talent show, except it's the world.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Except it's the world. Also, I'd
Sorry,
do
I'm
the same,
laughing.
Matt. You really want to encourage, but you don't know whether this is going to help or not.
What? Right. When I'm sort of meant to be a sort of slightly, you know, ambiguous about the whole thing anyway. But I was wrapped. I was wrapped.
Oh, thank you, love.
I say this with love, by the way, guys, and I say this with somebody who has a face that would have done a lot better, I reckon, in the 50s and 60s. But are most of your agents' inquiries to do with period pieces? Are you just getting tons of older stuff these days?
Because you think we have faces for the past.
Faces of the past.
I just feel like with The Crown, and obviously you've got that sort of tiny chess-based TV show that some people talked about. Is there an element where you're going, dear agent, please, something now, please?
I mean, I've never done a movie because of its genre, ever. I've always followed character and story. I think I'm good on the corset for a little bit. I think I've...
As is Matt.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know?
You
feel my pain?
I've had my fill.
Yep. But wouldn't say no to going back into it again for the right role.
Nor
I think I'm...
No. In fact, I'm going to welcome it when it comes.
Anything. Even further in the past. Yes, please.
No, but I rather like the idea of having a sort of, you know, an older face that has been parked in the present. I think I take it as a compliment, essentially.
Oh, yeah. You've got to talk to me a bit about how they 60s-ified London, right? Because it is face-smackingly amazing, like particularly that Thunderball moment, right? What were the most surreal pinch-yourself moments of taking London back in time?
So many. I mean, that one was pretty magical. The recreation of the Café de Paris.
Outside the Haymarket was amazing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It felt there was something in the air that night, wasn't there?
And shutting down Dean Street, that was nuts. It was weird because we were doing night shoots at the time, so we would be all dressed up, ready to go to work, and we'd see our friends going out.
Yeah, coming out.
Because it was like a Saturday night.
Yeah.
And they're like, "What are you wearing?" I'm like, "We're working." I'm just, bye.
There's cameras everywhere.
Yeah.
Linger on the sidewalks where the neon signs are pretty.
It's funny, like sort of, maybe this is too kind of, I was going to say too geeky to go into, but I think you'll love it.
You're talking to me, you're all right.
Like, we had a Thunderball poster for real, like on set. And then I think sort of I had started to think that there was another film that was maybe like sort of better for the sequence, like Fantastic Voyage. So I actually changed it to Fantastic Voyage, but I'd shown an early version of the trailer to Jordan Peele and Quentin Tarantino. I'd shown them an early version of the trailer. Name drop. But both of them, after I changed the poster, they said, "Oh my God, that Thunderball poster." I was like, damn it. So I had to go back to I said, hey guys, I know we just put Fantastic Voyage in, but I think we're going to go back to Thunderball.
It was also wild to see the Haymarket shut down. Like, they were closing it. And I remember I turned up on set, you know, I cycle in, chain up my bike, wandering along. And then I was like, oh, wow, that's an old bus. And I was like, yeah, Dad, it's an old bus. You're on a movie set now. But it's like, you're just in central London. But it like totally blew my mind. I remember just kind of sitting, watching that on the monitors and just being like, oh, wow, we're really making a film.
And by the way, can I compliment you on the other side of the coin for the excruciatingly well-observed university first few days? It is horrifyingly on point. I think the duvet wrapped around you whilst your headphones are still in, listening to a song that you hope somebody asks about, but also hope don't ask about. I just like to say thank you for reliving those memories for me. And were they based in fact? And who were you having a go at?
Well, I can say for sure, and the line that somebody says, and that can I slightly swear on this or not? You can always
go for it.
But the line that somebody that says to Thomasin about she's listening to the Kinks, and the guy that takes her headphones off says, "Why are you listening to this granny shit?" is something that was literally said to me when I was 16 and at a house party, maybe wrongly in 1990. I started playing Victoria by the Kinks, and one of my friends says, "Who put this on? Like, why are you listening to this granny music?" Which has haunted me forever.
Yeah, that's killer. Good. I'm really glad there was therapy in there, because that's why it had the punch.
Everyone's waiting for you.
And I'll leave you with this, guys. What piece of 60s memorabilia did you take home? Because when you're concocting this gorgeous world, you've got these clubs upstairs and you're taking Soho and making it 60s again. Surely it's tempting to bring a little bit of, you know.
I have some of the 60s signs. Like, I stole a sign that says private cinema. And also I took all of Eloise's record collection. So all of the Cilla Black and Sandy Shaw like vinyl, I took all of, so I have her record collection at home now.
Edgar, I know why you made the movie. That's why you did it. I get it now.
I stole the girls neon sign, and it's in my office in Soho, which could be misinterpreted, but no, you can't pass up that chance.
It depends if you have it inside the office or on the
No,
outside.
it's on the window. It's on the window. So yeah, there's problems.
Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon to keep up to date. You can listen to my Radio 1 movies and TV podcast, Screen Time, on BBC Sounds. And you can find these interviews in full on BBC iPlayer by searching Movies with Ali Plumb.